To all the non-believers.
How did that?
To all the non-believers. Especially you, Tom Jackson. Way to have our back, Keyshawn. Anybody can be beat.
So how did that just feel?
Felt great. Poetic justice. We know we were a much better team than we came up and represented ourselves. And we're pissed off. We was ready to come back and show what type of defense, what type of team this was, what kind of character we had. We take a lot of slack. People gave us no chance, like we barely made it in playoffs. We're a good football team.
It looks like this team played with anger all day. Why, Bart?
For all you non-believers, disrespect us, talk crap about the defense like we ain't the third best defense in the league. All we hear is about their defense. They can't stop a nosebleed. 25th in the league, and we the one to get disrespected.
Congratulations. See you in Pittsburgh.
Can't wait.
Back to you.
Broadcasting from the capital of sports, it's the Matty B Show. Right here on EPIS Sports Radio.
Matty B on EPIS Sports Radio.
And the big swung on and hit in the air. The deep right center. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. Playing very deep. It's right. It's one deep to left field. Going back here. The wall. It's on the
Sports Radio.
win the ball game.
A 60-point game for Kobe Bryant.
Sports Radio. Matty B on EPIS Sports Radio.
Alright, it's your boy Matty B. We're back for another episode in EPIS Sports Radio. The story, the saga, call it what you want, about the Houston Astros sign-stealing scandal just gets better and better by the week, man. And I, of course, had to bring in my boy, Dubby Goodell, again yet for another show. Dub, what's good?
Hey, Matt, what's up, man? Saga continues. We love it.
Dude, this is too much, man. This is just every day now. There's just a new piece of this information, and this is going to continue. I know you guys are probably tired of hearing about it. I mean, it's everywhere. Everywhere you go, ESPN, on the radio, sports radio, here with us. I try to get away from it, but honestly, I can't.
And of course,
it's too appealing.
What are we talking about? We're talking about the Houston Astros sign-stealing scandal.
Oh my God. The saga continues. What's come out this week is just the reactions. You're hearing more interviews with the players. You hear Carlos Correa just kind of apologizing, but not really. Crane coming out and with the worst team apology ever. I mean, he's just literally telling you all to deal with it.
Yeah,
man, if Houston didn't get away with this one, I don't know what. I mean, this is...
I mean, when you look at all the parameters and everything involved, the Astros have a bunch of players who are running around doing whatever they wanted, and none of them are going to get punished for it.
I am one sorry bitch.
The guys who are taking the hit was the supervisors, so to speak.
Yeah, the owners, everybody in charge,
yes.
I mean, actually not
general manager,
Jim Crane, that's for sure.
Right,
but.
yeah, he definitely didn't. The general manager and the manager, they got hit for it. And now you have these Astros.
And Beltran got hit as well. And, I mean, it's just insane. You hear these interviews with Correa and, just him kind of apologizing, but then alluding to, the Dodgers, they had to do their thing. They had to play up to the level that we played, and they didn't, they obviously didn't deserve it. It's kind of like apologizing, but not really. You're taking everything back, and you're just saying,
right.
Well, this really happened.
Right.
So it's not really an apology.
With Correa, I mean,
I'll go clean up my locker.
when you talk about Correa and his behavior or his response, it came from something that Cody Bellinger said.
Right.
Right?
No, that was a reaction.
Right, and it was a reaction from Bellinger pretty much venting, and I think Bellinger had every right to vent. Bellinger is upset. The Dodgers were this close so many times.
Right.
And it seems like they were the victims of the sign stealing scandal the most out of anyone.
Yeah.
Out of any other team in baseball, they took the most they took the most loss.
Well, they're making it seem that way, that's for sure. And just to me, the thing that it kills you is that these guys are actually going to get a chance and to go play. I know I was kind of easy on them before. I'm thinking, okay, take away playoff eligibility, things like that. But the fact that they get a chance to go out there and they're just kind of putting it in your face now. It's like they're like sick of hearing about it themselves. They're just saying, you know, all right, get over it. It's over. Like, let's move on.
Yeah.
And no,
It's over, Johnny.
we can't.
Nothing is over!
Because there was no justice. There was nothing done.
It's like we're just really getting into it and learning about what really happened, and they're telling the world to get over it and move on already.
It's over.
And it's like, no, you guys don't get to decide.
Nothing is over.
When to tell everyone.
Right.
You guys are the ones who are the culprits.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's like the murderer or the killer. He's telling you, all right, get over it. Your loved one's gone, whatever. You know what I mean? You son of, you know, they're criminals practically. These guys in the sports mind, in the annals of sports, these guys are almost like they gotten away with it.
Yeah,
you know,
they did
got away
get
with
away.
bloody murder practically.
That's the problem. And, you know, the fact that there's so much to the story that we don't even know. I mean, like, you know, there has to be much. These comments that, who was it that said that he had the tattoo? Was it Correa? I mentioned that tattoo.
My God.
That Jose Altuve, you know, the reason why he didn't want his shirt ripped off was because he had a tattoo on his collarbone.
And what did the tattoo say, Matt?
I don't know. I heard it was just a tattoo he didn't like. What did it say? It says, what did it say?
Oh, you guys are going to love this one. They allegedly Altuve had a tattoo. It was like a mom tattoo, like I love mom or for you mom.
Really?
And it just said MO, and they said it was a real bad heart.
Oh, God forbid. You know, Flash's I love mom tattoo.
But you know what's hilarious? There was an old Simpsons episode like that.
No
and
way.
Bart was getting the tattoo. The part of the episode when they spent all the Christmas money because of Bart. And Bart's like 9 years old. He goes in the tattoo parlor, and I think this is the episode they get Santa's little helper.
Okay.
Yeah, this is crazy, guys. No, this is great though, because a lot of people gonna know what I'm talking about. And Bart goes to get the tattoo, and it says, "I love mom," or "For you, mom."
I think I do
and it's just
remember
the MO,
that,
and they're yanking him out the chair. Mom yanks him out. Bart, you know, and they end up using all the Christmas money to get the tattoo removed from Bart.
Right.
And as soon as Correa says it, that's exactly what I thought of. I'm like, yo, this guy, he probably seen it. No, but Matt, listen, Matty. Hold up. Let me say something, brother. Correa, when he's telling this story, I'm over here. I'm ready to cry because I remember Correa last year. I play fantasy baseball. I had Correa on my baseball team. I know he's a great talent. I drafted this guy 3rd round. I'm ready to go Carlos Correa, baby. Correa broke his ribs. And they're like, yo, how did he break his ribs? It wasn't during the game. Correa tells the team that he was getting a massage, and the masseuse broke his rib.
Right.
And I was like, when I heard that, I'm like, what the hell? So if Correa want to talk about Altuve's tattoo and Altuve's wife gets mad at him and the broken the rib and all that, bruh, I don't want to hear nothing no more from Carlos.
I
don't
agree
believe
with you.
a word that man says.
No, I mean, that's insane. And listen, we all seen the footage of him running off the field saying that he doesn't want, to rip off the shirt.
The buzzer footage.
I mean, who does that? I mean, think about that. Like, this is the dream moment.
Oh, my God.
This is like the dream moment as a kid. You grow up, you're in the backyard, like this, this is, I forget the count, but I want to think it was a 3-2 count. I don't know. But,
it was a big
it was
spot.
it was 2 out. It was 2 out. I don't know. It's extra innings. You're going, you want to walk off the game. This is the moment, and boom, you hit the big home run, the same team in the World Series. I mean, it's amazing. And you run into the dugout, you change your clothes, the whole night. Who the hell does that? Everybody else on the field celebrating, I can understand, maybe not ripping the shirt off, but like stay on the field and celebrate with your team. Like this, like he was adamant about getting out of that situation.
Like
now I can only speculate, but I mean it's fishy to me. You seen the bulge in the shirt, seen that picture as well. Who knows? There's so much to this story that we don't know. And then you have these comments. It's like, no, dude, listen, nothing happened to you. You cheated. You openly admitted to cheating. And now you're telling us to get over it. And now I got to go play you. You stole awards from me. You stole this. I can understand Bellinger's point of view with this. I mean,
Absolutely.
I get it,
He has every right to at least get his vent on. It's already done. They got a slap on the wrist. I think who was it who came out with comments more recently? And they were blasting the was it Bauer?
Trevor Bauer did make comments about it.
He was ripping the commish like openly, like
yeah. That's right. He
those
was talking
NFL
about
guys don't have the nuts to do that with Goodell, man, with Roger Goodell.
Yeah,
not like that. These guys have no respect for Manfred.
No, I mean, how could you, especially after this? He didn't do anything to the players. Listen, you go back to like what the only scandal I could really compare it to is like the Black Sox era. That scandal where all the players, if you don't know, they were caught on this scheme and they were taking money from
mobsters.
Mobsters basically, and they were throwing the game. What happened to them? Even guys that didn't even take money got thrown out of the game for good, and they were done. It was over. That was setting an example. As much as I hate to see guys that didn't deserve it happen, that was the example. They set an example. They got rid of it. They shut it down. It was over. Forget about it. And you're talking about like great players, like Shoeless Joe Jackson was one of the best players of all time.
Forget about
and here is kind of similar. You have a big scandal, and then you got a guy like Altuve who. Before this, I don't know about you, but Hall of Fame bound.
Yeah, he's a great player, man.
Hall of Fame bound, and you kind of look out that
what's not anymore.
Right. You don't know.
So but that neither goes here nor there. But when you were talking about the Black Sox scandal, and I feel your passion on that. But I want to say one thing is we don't want these guys to get thrown out the game forever. I don't think I want Altuve and those guys yet. And
I agree with you. I don't think lifetime is.
No, they have. Me personally, I'm fine with whatever. Like if they didn't want to punish the players, so be it. But when you noticed when the scandal finally came down, when it hit the ground, baseball gave out the punishments. Boom. They gave out the punishments right away. It's kind of was like showing up a little bit of the NFL a little bit. How swift they came down with the punishment. I guess so. We're gonna and they kind of paraded themselves around.
Doesn't
put
justify
the punishment down, but they didn't think that the Astros would turn around and be this so remorseless.
No, that's
like they are now.
No, man, they had to expect that. I'm sorry.
You think so?
Yes.
Why?
Well, because how else are they going to stay in the game? You got to think of it in their point of view.
They could have humbled themselves and just went into the cut.
I know, absolutely, but they had to think that some of this was going to happen. It was going to be a circus in itself. Listen, you didn't lay down any punishment to the players. What did you expect?
All of the curtains have been put up for it to be a circus, and it has been. They have set up a circus tent, but at the same time. I was still shocked when I heard Correa's comments and his response and the brashness, and the defiance, and with the owner, all of it. I never thought those guys would react.
Altuve's and Bregman's was the best. They were like robots, right?
Right.
I couldn't. I was like, this is not an apology.
So when you say Matt, say why could you not expect it? I was surprised, Matt. I didn't know those guys were gonna be that that jerkish, like that douchey, like these guys. No, seriously.
That's one way to put it. You're right. No, you're right.
Correa is defending. He's wrong and strong. That's as bad as it gets right there. He's telling us what we're seeing is a lie.
Yeah.
Or our logic is skewed. Because when he says that Bellinger is an idiot, he doesn't know the facts.
Right. And then you see why Rosenthal come right back with the facts at him. We'll play that clip actually. Let's play that clip real quick for you.
I don't know. I know personally I lost respect for those guys. I think I would say everyone in the show, in the big leagues, lost respect for those guys. But then again, there's also a time where people do make mistakes. And, you feel success, you're getting money, you're getting MVPs, it's hard to turn that down. So you do make mistakes. I think that there is a way to get over it because everyone does make mistakes. But they just gotta go out, be themselves, and they're a damn good team without the trash cans. They would have had all-stars without the trash cans. Those guys are great players. I think everyone respected what they did. But now, man, it's like, what's real, what's not. So it's a tough situation to be in for them.
See Altuve grabbing his jersey after the game winner off Chapman, saying, "Don't rip my shirt off." What do you think?
I don't know what human hits a walk-off home run against Aroldis Chapman to send your team to the World Series. And one has the thought to say, "Don't rip my jersey off," but two, go in the tunnel, change your shirt, and then come out and do your interview. Like that makes no sense to me.
Game 2, they're winning the game. 9th inning, Marwin Gonzalez hits a home run of Kenley Jansen. We end up winning that game. That game was on the road. That's one game. Game 2, we win 5-3. That's game 3. The second game we won. We win 5-3. Julie hits a solo homer. Marwin hits a double with man on first and second. To all the fans out there that are watching this, when there's a guy on second, catchers and pitchers, they use multiple signs. In the World Series, they don't use the same multiple signs as the regular season. The games are way too important to use after 1 or after 2 or strikes plus 1. The games are too important to use those signs. Those signs can be decoded. They're hard signs. Marwin hits a double with man on first and second. That's 3 runs. Brian McCann hits a single with man on second. Again, multiple signs. That's 4 runs. Evan Gattis, with Reddick at first, hits a chopper to the pitcher Watson. He throws it away. Reddick scores from first. Those are the 5 runs we scored that day. And that's just PFP. He just threw the ball away. We score a run, right? Game 5, one of the best games of all times. I hit a double with man on second. That's 1 run. Julie hits a home run with man on second. Again, it's multiple signs. It's multiple signs. Nobody knows what's coming.
So you guys did not have their signs?
No. I'm telling you, Ken, the World Series games are too important to use easy signs. There are Morse codes out there. I mean, there's signs that nobody can get. There's so many variations that you can use, and nobody can get that. Julie hits a homer. That's 4 runs. Altuve hits a homer of Maeda with men on first and second. Again, Ken, multiple signs. Alex Bregman hits a walk-off single with a pinch runner on Derek Fisher. He was a pinch runner. He don't know what's going on in the game. He hasn't been at second base the whole World Series, so he don't know what's happening behind the plate. Bregman hits a walk-off single with man on second. Again, Ken, multiple signs. We go to game 7. George Springer, little double. Alex Bregman hits a ground ball to Cody Bellinger. He throws it away. People say pitching and defense win ball games. We end up winning game 7 on the road. There's no trashing on the road. There's no cheating on the road. And we got to take that on the chin. Whatever people have to say, the facts that people have to say, we got to take that on the chin. But like I said before, what doesn't sit well with me is when you say false statements. If you don't know the facts, if you're not informed, this is America, Ken. You can say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. But Cody Bellinger's job is to look for information, get informed, know the facts for sure before he stands in front of cameras to talk about other players. You should get informed. You should be informed before you talk about other players. If you don't know the facts, then you gotta shut the
All right, so you just seen those clips on Carlos Correa talking back to Cody Bellinger, and then Bellinger back to Correa and the Astros. And I can't, me and Dubby laughing the whole time just watching this stuff. I mean,
Correa, man.
He's a piece of work, man.
He was admonishing everyone and telling everyone how wrong they are. You would forget that he was the accused. You know, he was the assailant. You would forget that he was the purse snatcher. He was the thief. He was the felon.
So, I mean, I played in a clip, but his justification of why cheating didn't dictate the outcome of the 2017 World Series is this. Now, in Game 2, they were on the road, and they won.
Right.
So they don't cheat on the road. No, they don't.
Allegedly, they don't cheat.
Right, allegedly.
That's
okay,
what the report says.
That's the one win. Game 3, I believe they're back home. And because the catcher's using multiple signs. He emphasized on you should play a drinking game while watching that clip, and every time he says multiple signs, take a shot. Because, oh my God. Now listen, if you don't know about what multiple signs is that catcher's basically using, 2 sequences of like fingers to throw down in order to relay the sign to the pitcher.
Like they couldn't record that.
That's very possible. Yes, it makes it harder when there's multiple signs as opposed to just putting down 1 for fastball and 2, 3, 4 for any other off-speed pitch. He's finding a way to justify it, and it's terrible. So you go to game 3, they're using multiple signs, right? Okay, boom, there's 2 wins now. Game 5, again, multiple signs. That's his excuse for all of it. Bregman with the walk-off single, and game was on the road. So how could there be cheating, right? Okay. I mean, come on.
No collusion.
It's game 7 was on the road. Excuse me. Game 5 was at home, and then multiple signs is the reason. In game 7 being on the road. So how could they cheat?
To listen and watch Carlos Correa wag his finger at us like we were the ones. Who were playing with fire in the kitchen, Like, we were the ones, pouring milk all over the floor like we were the children. Like, you guys cheated blatantly and got caught. It is what it is, and you admitted it.
And you got away with it.
Got away with it. Right in the face
got
of
away
everyone.
with it.
Cody Bellinger, he has every right to say and how he feels about the situation because he was the victim of it.
Yes, sir.
And he can't get back what was taken ever. So if the man wants to rant a little bit and complain, be it. Let him get it.
And I hope there's a brawl. I would like to see a brawl.
Man, wherever the Stros go this year, man.
Oh, boy.
There's going to be a crowd fight.
I don't know who they're playing opening day, but first pitch, you have to, right? You have to? First pitch, who are they playing? Because
I think no matter what the Astros do from the first to the last pitch, the whole season's gonna be about them.
No, but I'm telling you, game 1, I don't care who it is, who's pitching that day, whatever, what team it is.
We're gonna check it out.
First pitch, I don't, as long as it's not a player that's not on their, that wasn't on their team in 2017, like. It's got to be like Altuve or Correa, somebody they got.
Altuve's their leadoff man if they're on the road. That's for sure.
There you go. So, boom, Altuve straight back. Although if you hear it in the clip, that Correa's just defending Altuve the whole time, saying that he wasn't a part of the cheating. I don't agree. As much as listen, it's only speculation. We can only speculate until we know and somebody writes it in a book. 20 years from now, Altuve himself writes in a book, yeah, cheat.
I don't think they're going to do that.
After he gets into the Hall of Fame, but I would have to think a guy like Altuve, who...
He's a great player.
He is a phenomenal player. I'm not saying that that this takes away from him being a good player. Like, he certainly was. He's a Hall of Fame player prior to all this.
It looks... they're going to be... They're going to be home for the Angels for 4. But the fun starts March 30th, Monday, in Oakland.
Yep, there you go. So, Angels going to be there. Listen, I would set an example. Now the Angels didn't have any part of it. They haven't been in the postseason.
The Angels hate their guts. The A's hate their guts. The whole division hates them. Everyone hates them. The world does.
Yeah, well, they should.
The world does.
I find it entertaining, honestly. But, in terms of the integrity of the game, it is sad to see. It makes me think, like, what are we really watching out there? Is this stuff really genuine?
And, this is really, to me, like a microcosm of what's going on in the world today. Because when you talk about, like, the integrity of the game, like, a lot of integrity just in the whole, in the world has been compromised, You can't, it's like, what can you believe now? It's really everything is questioned because we've been told nonsense before in different scopes of life, whether it's our personal life, whether it's a family, whatever. We all have whatever we have, but it's like someone's always telling you some BS. And Correa looked at us in our face And, you know, he had a whole bunch, whether it's the mom tattoo or it's the multiple signs or it's the rib cage, the massage. It's like, that's what's going on now. You know, we can tell people whatever we want. And if they don't like it, we're like, kiss my ass.
Right.
I'm going to I have money, so I lied. You know, I'm telling you, like, you know, your eyes are lying. And that's what it is.
Well, you know, I hope this doesn't really put, you know, a negative outlook on the game itself. And I really hope that going forward, what we're watching is really genuine. But it's kind of hard to believe when you think about it. I mean, like, when you were watching this World Series, did you think for a second, like, wow, you know, like Houston might be cheating? I was rooting Houston on. I wanted to see them. Well, I mean, you're a Yankee fan, so it was all the way around.
I wanted the Nationals to win. Right, of course.
But back in 2017, but I'm saying, you know, like, yeah.
I wanted the Nationals to kick the Astros butt. They got over on us again. No, I never thought they were cheating, and every time the Nationals won a game, I was.
But not only this year's, last year's World Series, but I'm talking about like in 2017. When they're doing it then against the Yankees, did you ever think like they were cheating?
No, but
like
I'll tell you what I did think about was the home road factor. That was just like, it was like, wow, we can't beat these guys.
Yeah.
On the road, or in Houston. And I was like, after it was all over and the dust settled, and this wasn't the only time, because later on in 19 again we couldn't beat them. I had to swallow my pride. I'm like, these guys, this is a better team. And that's what I said. The Astros are a better team than us.
Right.
They beat us. And now you're like, dang, bro. But
it does hurt.
You said though, Matt, I think this is great, in the grand scheme of things.
Entertainment-wise,
that's what it's all
it's
about. It's
good for us. Keeps things interesting.
You put sports on TV. TV is the boob too. It's the entertainment box, and that's what we watch. The soap opera part. We talk about the NBA. We talk about the NFL. One thing the NBA and the NFL always has is a storyline, and that's one thing baseball doesn't have ever.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I think this right now is going to be. It's going to be a great opportunity to.
No, absolutely. I agree. I mean,
it's going to get a lot of ratings. I think people are gonna come and see the Astros play.
No, it's going to be entertainment all year long. I mean, I'm looking forward to it, but it does make you think. Is there something else going on? What's the next thing? And listen, we could talk about it all day. We're going to talk about it a little bit more. Let's be back in a couple of minutes.
It does have like a wrestlingness to it, doesn't it? Like a little.
It is. It's becoming that. Like that's the thing. Like it doesn't even seem real anymore. It's just.
I got you.
It's all that entertainment fact, but we'll get to it a little bit more. A couple other things along on the show. Next week's episode that I'm putting out, most likely Monday. Not this one. The following episode that I will put out. We will reveal the question for our ticket giveaway. So you definitely got to check in for that. I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know. I'll post it all on the page on Facebook. Matty B, Dubby Goodell, EPIS Sports Radio, on Rada Music Works Production. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Matty B on EPIS Sports Radio, your home for sports news and sports talk radio.
Back with EPIS Sports Radio. It's your boy Matty B, and got my other boy, co-host WG over here, W Goodell from the Standard YouTube.
Yeah, man.
Check him out if you haven't already.
Yes, W Goodell on YouTube.
Just want to mention one thing that did come over this past weekend. Tony Fernandez died. If you don't know, he's a shortstop. 1962 from 2020. He played in the league for 17 years with the Toronto Blue Jays most of the time. He won a World Series with them in 1993. 4-time Gold Glove winner. Unfortunately, in 2017, he was diagnosed with polycystic kidney disease, which is basically just renal failure. His kidneys were going out on him. Once that starts, unless you get a new kidney, as me and Dubby know all too well with our job, chances of you lasting for too long is unlikely. And unfortunately, he died due to complications of his disease.
57 years old, very
recently,
young.
February 15th. So, yeah, shame. Phenomenal career, great player. He's mostly known for his defensive ability.
He was a very good player. Growing up, we watched him a lot. He was a shortstop for a very good Blue Jays team in the early 90s. He was traded later on in the Roberto Alomar, Joe Carter deal. They would come to Toronto for Fred McGriffin Fernandez. They would go out to San Diego. And that was a big blockbuster deal back then, Matty. And he was an all-star.
I wouldn't know.
I got your back, bro.
I wouldn't know.
I know you're a historian, guy.
Well, I was born in 92, so listen, I wasn't watching. I wasn't around for most of this.
So,
if I was little, so.
Oh, grandpa. But yeah, Fernandez was a good player. He's a good player, man. He's an all-star player. When the Yankees acquired him, I was pumped up. I was a kid. Yeah, baby, we got Tony Fernandez, baby. And he was very good. Jeter ultimately took his place.
Yeah.
That was history, yeah.
His last appearance was in 2001, which I found interesting.
Yeah,
I was like, wow,
he played a long time.
It's around a long time, yeah.
A good player.
Yeah, so.
Good player. Guy gets, he would have 1-2 home runs and he would have 60 RBIs.
Yeah, he hit for under 100 home runs in his career.
He hit a lot of home runs, but he was
a big home run guy.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Over
2,000 hits.
Yeah.
Over 2,000 hits. So, yeah, not bad at all.
I feel like one of the real OGs, man. Listening to guys talk about old ball players, and I'm just listening like, yeah, man. Wow, and I'm doing it now. So what are you going to do? But, I'm glad to watch him play.
Well, our condolences goes out to his family and everybody that's affected. Phenomenal player, phenomenal career.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give it out to him. But I mentioned that because we're on the subject of baseball. You just can't get away from it. There's not much going on in sports right now as it is. Right now, we got the All-Star game, All-Star break right now for the NBA. No football aside from the XFL,
All-Star weekend just went past that, didn't it?
Well, I will get to it later. We'll talk on it. As we're recording this, I know when you will be listening, the All-Star weekend will be over, but the All-Star game's about to begin right now. Yeah, I watched the dunk contest, watched the skills challenge. It was good, a little controversy in the dunk contest, all right, 3-point contest was good too, but whatever. Let's stay on the subject of baseball, though.
This Team Giannis stuff, Team LeBron.
Oh, come on.
Later.
Later.
Matty later, man. All right.
More on the baseball, man. I just there's too much that we're laughing about it before with Correa and Bellinger and just what to expect this season.
Put the red nose on my face, bro, because he gotta think I'm a clown. What he's telling us.
It's insane. I can't. It's comical that how he's trying to justify it so much, and and going forward, it's like, oh, of course. Listen, what
he started blaming
what
Bellinger. He started blaming this and that. He was like, in the beginning, like you said, they took responsibility, and then as soon as he heard some kind of pushback from the supposed victims or whatever, he goes crazy. Oh, this and that. He's wagging the finger.
Well, listen. Do you give him the benefit of the doubt? Is there any chance? Do you believe what he says that it didn't impact the 2017 World Series? Because I was thinking about it before.
After he tells us the story about the tattoo, it's hard to believe anything he says, Matt. So really though, brother. Listen, brother Matt. Listen.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying, man. Listen. I understand that they were cheating. I don't deny it
because I don't like to tell.
I don't deny it, but I want to believe in the sense that there's some sort of credibility in terms of, my game, the game that I love so much. I want to be able to watch my Mets and think like, yeah, if the Mets won a World Series and they got caught for cheating, I honestly don't know if I'd be still happy about that. I've heard the argument that you're like, oh, who cares? We got it. We celebrated. We enjoyed it. For the Astros fans and everything. But if it was my own Mets, I don't know, man. I obviously when they won it, you wouldn't know, so I'd be fucking excited. I mean,
so if this was your team who won the championship, this was the Mets who won the world title in 2017.
And it came out years later.
And this was the Mets, yes.
That they cheated. I really don't know. I would feel like, wow, they didn't really earn it. They didn't earn it the right way. I'm not going to say they didn't earn it. They didn't earn it the right way. How about that?
Matt,
because I mean, they're with same thing with Houston. They admitted to cheating, so whether or not they earned it, you can't really quantify that. It's like it's hard to really pinpoint what mattered and how it mattered, and and
there's a stain on it.
Right.
It's tarnished.
And I think as a fan, diehard Mets fan, I would kind of be like, oh man, like I don't really get that same feeling.
As hungry as the fan base is, for me, I think I kind of find it a little hard to believe. I think if this happened to you guys, I think you'd be defending them like the Houstonians are defending their Astros. And they're defending the heck out of their Astros, bro. They're just going so hard. They sound like Correa. They're defending them. Oh, you guys cheated. They're talking about people, the steroid era.
I think that's the overall consensus,
because at the end of the day, when it's your guy, this is the era of, that's my guy.
Yeah.
People are going to grasp onto what they like, and they don't care what is brought out about them.
Mm-hmm.
Once that's their guy, and it's like with the celebrity worshiping almost, it's the same kind of thing. Once people latch onto something, it doesn't matter what they do, people are going to defend them.
Yeah.
And that's what, and the Astros belong to Houston. And they're not going to listen to the rest of the country. They're going to back them up. And that's the only backup. Just as much as the Astros go on the road and they're going to get battered and attacked, on the flip side, when they're home, they're going to get so much support and love. They're going to sell out those games. The Astros are going to become the hot ticket in Houston. If they weren't already, because they're loved down there.
Well, we spoke about the entertainment factor about it. I just, it's a shame. It's a shame. I at this point, I really do feel like they should have been penalized, whether it be playoff ineligibility for a couple of years. And I said that from the beginning. I said, take away their playoff eligibility. You've seen it recently. I don't know if you follow soccer, but I do. I love soccer very much.
I know it.
Manchester City got,
I heard
penalized.
about that.
They were fined, big thing.
Somebody lied about something.
Whole scandal issue with, contracts, financial issues. Yeah,
right, I had heard about that.
I'm not going to get into the details about it, but they were penalized. Exactly, yeah. They're no longer eligible for, I believe, the next 2 seasons for the Champions League.
Postseason.
It's not really a postseason in soccer. They have like tournaments. They have these big tournaments. Champions League is like the biggest tournament ever in all of soccer.
Annual?
It's annual. It's annual.
And they're banned for 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's 2 years if I'm right, yeah. So, and as much as, I don't really agree with FIFA and all that and all the scandals they've been caught up with, and but I do agree with how they took punishment upon the team.
And what I've read, a lot of people agree with you.
Yeah, I mean it's the rightful thing to do. I mean they're still allowed to play, but now they're no longer eligible for the biggest opportunity, the biggest stage. The reason why they play in the first place.
You wanted the Stros to get that same fate.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. At least for a year. I mean, if you're not going to go out and ban them completely or suspend them for a year or two, you got to do something. And I thought, and that's a message. Is the same way the message to the owner, But there's a whole nother side with that in terms of Manfred and all the owners and baseball and all that. Right. I mean, there is no accountability with it, but I mean I felt like that was the proper
I think you should,
punishment for them.
Far as you're right, and that whole other angle with Manfred and the owners, we don't even know what the owner's temperament is with this whole situation. Like, because I recall when I did a show on the Patriots a while ago, and we were talking about I was talking about Spygate and Deflategate and all that stuff.
I remember.
And right, the owners we knew that they were pissed off.
Yeah,
these guys are winning all the time. The jealousy was there, and the desire to have what they want. And on top of that, these guys are cheating and they're winning. Hell no! And then they cheated again, and they forced Goodell to punish Kraft. You know, we don't really, we knew the owners were pissed, and they ganged up on Bob Kraft. Cool. Heavy is the crown. You wear the crown.
That was a telltale sign in all of that.
Absolutely.
And I think it's very relatable to this situation and what's been going on. You see it. And, my producer, Steve, executive producer, he mentioned it to, he messaged me. He was messaging me all week with the stuff.
Yeah.
Steve, he was texting me, he was sending me stuff. And he was calling me. He's like, man, you gotta check this article. He's getting on Manfred and everything, and he was telling me we were having a conversation about how between the owners and Manfred, he was like, you guys think that Manfred runs the league, but it's really the owners who run the league. And that's that whole situation with Goodell and the owners of the NFL.
Goodell, guys, and this is the commissioner's job. The commissioner's job is to play the front man.
Yeah.
If the bullets are coming in, he's going to take that. He takes everything. And that's why Goodell is so hated, because he's so good at that. Right. He's good at taking that criticism, and he does the underhanded part of the business that the owners send him to do. The owners don't want to take that grief or the backlash from being scum.
That's
because
his
at the end
job.
of the day, you have to be a little bit of a piece of scum.
His job is to work for them.
Right.
And to make everything comfortable and copacetic for them.
Make money.
Right.
To make revenue. To make bread. So Manfred is trying. That's why I was trying to say, I don't really know if they're that pissed at him. I don't know how pissed they are at Crane. I don't know the relationship.
Well, Crane's got to be happy right now.
Oh, he's gotten away like a bandit.
I mean, and you can thank Manfred for that. Because he could have came down on Crane, but you see, he didn't, and there's probably a reason why. It's probably because all the other owners would have had an issue with it.
Right.
You're taking away from one of our own. We're all in it together. Right. This is a money making scheme that we're trying to do.
The Dodgers owners can't be happy. The Yankees owners aren't that happy because of the competitive nature of it.
Well,
they
that's
got beat.
Well, that's if they weren't cheating. That's if they didn't have any involvement. And we know with the speculation with the article that you sent me about how the Yankees had a hand, in the in cheating scandal, possibly, with the Apple Watch, with the Sox and all that,
and that was swept under the rug.
Yeah, it was.
It was a Gammons interview with the former Yankee outfielder Chris Young, former Red Sox outfielder, former Met outfielder. I think he played for those three teams within a year and a half. He was on all three of them. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, real utility guy at
those
that point.
Utility guys, those are the get around guys. They know every playbook. They know every clubhouse. So I guess he was saying that he played with Beltran too. Beltran was on a Yankee team, and he was saying that they started the using technology as far as the Apple Watch. They use that to steal signs. And Gammons, this is Peter Gammons. And Peter Gammons is so credible, and then Peter Gammons turned around and retracted the tweet where he had said that he did the interview with Young. Young started to deny it.
Took it back,
Right, and it's like Young got a call from the league offices, and he just took back everything he said, and Gammons took it back. So, Manfred kind of crept in, I don't even remember exactly when Manfred was given this job. He kind of just snuck in there. You know what I mean, Matt? Is it just me?
No, you're right.
I remember Silver taking the job over. Adam Silver's here. Stern is gone. Rest in peace to the commissioner, David Stern. He was gone. Adam Silver came in there. Manfred just kind of crept in like a little weasel.
It was a nice soft transition, that's for sure. And then we were really, he's only really been in the huge spotlight now with this whole scandal. I think since he's taken over, he really hasn't.
He's been here 4 or 5 years now.
He hasn't had to deal with much. That's right. So I mean, this is his real first test. And
what it is though is when you say it's his real first test, and it really is, but it really is an accumulation of bullshit that's just piling up, and now it's exploded on him.
Yeah.
And then from when we hear about the Apple Watch or him warning these players or, him with the rule changes. There's a lot of things he's doing behind the scenes and, quietly. But now it's all right in front of us with this Astros scandal.
Yeah, you're right, by the way. It's 2015 is when he took over.
5 years.
And, So, 5 years.
Wow.
Could
have fooled me, man.
Listen, we go back to the point that, I think the owners have more control over this league than,
It's theirs.
The commissioner does. And I think, in a way, for baseball, it's fine, but going forward, what does this mean in terms of the integrity game?
Right.
We talked about it last week and all that, but, I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore. It's just, it's all too much.
I got
it's
a
getting a little
question
crazy.
for you. When you say the integrity of the game, I know what you mean. Being a baseball fan for most of my life, I know what you mean by integrity of the game. Baseball is a secret sport. We can go on and on. You know how that goes. What I want to ask you is, what is more important, the integrity of the game or the popularity and the viewership of the game and the revenue of the game?
That depends on who you're asking, right? Obviously, for the owners and, Rob Manfred, it's, the popularity.
Right. And the money.
The money. In terms of TV contracts, things like that, that's what I'm getting to. It's just, that's what runs it. They don't care as long as that keeps on flowing. It's all good.
I think that answers your question. Why these guys can't get suspended? Because they want the Astros out there playing.
Well, Steve had brought up a good point about that as well.
What did Steve say?
He said,
what did Steve say?
That's because me and him were going back and forth about it and how, if they were to suspend the players, that this might be more widespread than we think.
Right.
And we mentioned this in the last show. It's going to blow everything up. It's going to be widespread, and we heard.
Start pointing.
You're right, exactly. And it already has. You're starting to see that now with the Yankees, all that.
Right.
It's really
slow whispers.
Right. And like I said, the truth will come out. It's just a matter of when it does. But for Rob Manfred and the owners right now, they don't want the whole truth to come out because Steve thinks it'll end it all. It will be the end of the game. That it'll the popularity of sport would go down.
You can't say that would be wrong because everything that's happened since this has come down has been like wow. From like I said, the Correa interview to the trash can, the innovative,
Mike Fires coming out with
the
it,
snitching of Fires, the Bolsinger lawsuit. Everything is like, wow, whoa, ooh, oh my gosh. All of this stuff is boom, boom, boom. It's really like impressive stuff and unprecedented stuff.
Yeah.
It's stuff that's we've never seen. So we're in an area we haven't been around yet, so we're gonna see what happens. This is definitely a new ground. But one thing, like I said, is for sure right now, 2020 season is going to be so lit. I'm telling you, bro. It's going to be
I'm going to be there, too.
People, all right, so none of your boys said to you, we going to go to this Astro, or mentioned the Astros on the road, seeing like they are the real life supervillains.
Yeah, well, Owner's going to have it good. Manfred's going to have it good this year in terms of TV ratings. I've been saying that. We said it last week.
What they said in the NWA movie, they said all publicity is good publicity.
That's right.
If it's shitty publicity, they have it.
Exactly.
Correa probably got 10,000 new followers.
Yeah.
10,000 scumbags. I like this guy.
I hope the same goes for us as well. I hope we could get more followers.
The Mets are me and you. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about us.
Yeah, we're gonna be all right. We love this shit though. We do this. We like this. We like what we like doing this.
We enjoy it very well.
Yeah,
Speaking on,
you sound like you know what you're talking about a little bit.
Yeah, you do too.
See, there we go.
But staying on the subject of 2020 baseball season, they do have a couple of rule changes that I really do not agree with. I just want to mention them before we cut to another break. But They got 3 batter minimum, which is the most notable of all the rule changes. All right. All pitchers must pitch to a minimum of 3 batters or end of a half inning. So that means they would have to finish out the inning or something like that.
So if he don't get nobody out, so
he has to face a minimum of 3 batters. So
I don't like it, man.
So no more of the lefty-righty matchups. This whole thing.
That's not baseball.
Listen, I'm gonna. Yeah, we'll get into it, because this you're changing the game completely. There's a reason for that. I'll also mention that as well. But the other rule changes. There's an injured list option period for pitchers. Minimum days on the injured list increased to 15.
Okay.
Not really significant. There's a reduction in challenge time. Okay. Managers will have 20 seconds to challenge a play. And I believe they were making a roster change as well. I think instead of 25, I think you would carry 26.
I think it was 27. Yeah, I remember.
I don't see it right here, but I'm pretty sure that
all these
is in
damn
effect as well.
substitutions and all these bullpen games, sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to completely... The 3 batter minimum is going to affect baseball huge this year. I think everybody needs to look out for that.
So no more lefty specialists.
Oh, it's going to be bad. But I know, listen. We'll get into it. Hey, EPIS Sports Radio. I know we've been going crazy about the whole baseball sign stealing scandal. We'll get off to it. I think we touched on it enough tonight.
These are the days of our lives.
I mean, this is what it is, man. We got to talk about it, but more on the rule changes up next. We'll talk a little bit about basketball, and a couple other things. EPIS Sports Radio, Matty B, Dubby Goodell. We'll be right back.
You've been listening to the Matty B Show right here on EPIS Sports Radio and on Rada Music Works production.
EPIS Sports Radio. It's your boy Matty B. Dubby Goodell is with me again. Another episode. Right before we had cut to break, I was mentioning the rule changes, but according to Major League Baseball this season. But I did forget. I forgot one thing that happened this past week since we did the last episode that I have to bring up. And of course, you're wearing the hat. I can't go a show without mentioning my New York Metropolitans.
Your beloved.
Yeah, my beloved New York Metropolitans. So, big news for them, aside from everybody reporting, down in Florida this week, having a good time, getting a couple of laughs.
Big news.
Everybody making fun of Door and all that, all that good stuff. But big news is that there's another suitor, a possible suitor, and potentially buying the New York Mets.
Wow, isn't that, that might be.
And that name is none other than Alex Rodriguez. Oh boy, yeah, baby. A-Rod in the house. All right.
Jennifer Lopez's lover.
J-Lo, A-Rod and J-Lo. She's got to get
Jeter's arch rival.
She's got to get in on the investment.
I like to think that whatever J-Lo says,
you don't think
A-Rod's gonna do. So
I think she's all for it. She probably I think she's a Met fan too, because I've seen her at games. I know it's weird, but I've seen her at games. I've seen her at Yankee games too. So I don't know if she's a Met Yankee fan. But either way,
J-Lo's with whatever's winning. Bro.
Either way, for my Mets,
what do you think about that?
I love it. Sign him up. Let's go.
You know what?
Sign on the dotted line. I want him in.
As polarizing a figure A-Rod is, I'm a big A-Rod guy. I like A-Rod. Especially this retired A-Rod. I love this MLB Network A-Rod.
I love this part of A-Rod.
I love this.
I wasn't too crazy about the player.
I always defended him, but I'm a guy who's always going to try to, play a little bit of a devil's advocate. But as far as A-Rod being an owner of the New York Mets, I think that's a fabulous. I mean, it's the possibilities. A-Rod's a competitor,
right?
Number one, and number two, he go fit in the NL East and go compete against his buddy, his friend.
Oh yeah,
his homie.
I know.
Derek Jeter. Could you imagine?
This is perfect.
That would be awesome
for everybody involved. I think it's perfect. Listen, at the end of the day, if it's not the Wilpons, I'm happy. So it's kind of like I look at the managerial position with the Mets. It's just like, okay, whatever. At this point, okay, Luis Rojas, Carlos Beltran, whoever you want,
whatever,
Mickey Callaway,
right?
like. Who knows? I can't say he's going to be good. I can't say he's going to be bad. We don't know.
Whatever,
like, we've seen it with Jeter. He hasn't really made much of an impact in Miami.
Jeter is just like his OG homie, Jordan, great on the field. And so far as an owner, he looks like he's sorely lacking.
Right. I mean, at the same time, the Marlins were in a really bad way when he began his tenure down there. So... I expected still to take some time. We'll see what they do this year.
I think he, A-Rod, if I'm not mistaken, he's like in bed with Warren Buffett. So that would be, right?
Well, it's good. It's a good point to bring up because A-Rod would not solely control the Mets. Like, he's definitely going to have he's going to be the baseball guy. He's going to be the guy making the decisions. Well, at least that's what we speculate. And then he would have a team of investors go in on the deal with him. So it makes sense because A-Rod, as much as money as he has accumulated, and J-Lo as well, you put them together, it could be a nice portion, but it's not going to be everything. Their net worth doesn't amount to that. Like, the Mets are going for what? Easily like what, 3-point-something billion?
Absolutely.
I mean, like,
the Mets are one of the highest. Most
they're
expensive.
up there.
Yeah, their value is one of the highest in the league. A-Rod is... I don't know, a lot of people, anyone who watches the game, listen to our shows, they're going to know, I don't have to tell you, A-Rod is a baseball genius.
Yes.
And he's a baseball fiend. He's a baseball junkie. He loves baseball and he's a competitor. Mm-hmm. So anybody like that, and in the situation we're in now, where a guy who wants to be a baseball player, and a whale ponder, that time, it's time to move on from that. And somebody like an A-Rod coming in there would really shake things up. And I think it would shake things up for the good before.
Well, I mean, you would hope, right? One Met fan can hope to another. I mean, it would... That's all I'm saying. Wilpon's out the door. All right, A-Rod, he's a name, he's a face,
I hope
it'd be interesting.
The headliners and the media is just not just throwing the name out there. And it's,
I don't think so. I think he's seriously considering... I also think you have to... consider the fact that Steve Cohen is still a possibility at this point. I don't think... Because he still owns a 20% stake in the Mets, so he's not going away. And any offer that comes to the Mets, he has to see.
Right.
And he has to accept. He has to be a part of that deal. So he's seeing the numbers. So if he really wants the Mets... then, he can at the last minute put out an offer that's greater. I don't know.
This was Heyman reporting this, that Cohen was, but Manfred said that Cohen, the chance of him owning a team ever is slim and none, basically, after walking away from the table. And as days went on, I was hearing more on the Wilpon side that Cohen knew about the parameters of the deal and he started to balk. It wasn't Jeff changing his mind or anything like was so reported. It was Cohen who did that. And he started realizing what he had signed up for or shook his hand on. And he kind of wanted to renege on that a little bit.
Well, that's the thing. What was he really signing up for? Was he signing up for...
What we talked about last time.
Right. Was he signing up for...
buying a car that he couldn't drive anytime he wanted to.
Exactly. He whatever deal that they had come up with, it certainly didn't favor him in being the decision maker for the franchise.
But what they were saying was that he agreed to it. And maybe he came to his senses. Maybe he had a drink or two before he made the deal. He started like, oh, snap.
It wouldn't make much sense to me buying something that, I don't have full control
on any
over,
level of any kind of business. That never makes sense. Mm-hmm. So, the Wilpons can't really justify that.
But nonetheless, I mean, I think it's really interesting that A-Rod's name comes out there. He was a Met fan growing up. He wanted to be a Met. At one point, so it would be good. And I think, any type of change is the Wilpons getting out of there is obviously great for the Mets. So, I mean, I'm not going to knock it. I hope something happens. I hope, we don't go all year long and the Wilpons are still in control and there's no offers on the table. Like, You know, because, I mean, as much as I am optimistic about the Mets season, this upcoming season, you know, their future I'm not optimistic about because of who's in control.
The Mets are in a transition phase. I know it sounds, you know, like a cliche almost, and we say it all the time. But this time more than ever, they're really in a transition phase. Because when you talk about Cespedes and he's got the 1 year left, and this is that Benigno year where he thinks he's gonna. I think the same thing. He's gonna have a monster year. There's a lot of different variables in what's going on, whether it's on the field or it's upstairs with them.
They're also projected to win the NL East.
Who projected that?
I forget exactly where, but
I don't think it's crazy.
That they are.
I mean, Matty, though, this might be the toughest division in baseball. Just
without
off the top of my head,
without a doubt, it is.
Who's the worst team in the division?
The Marlins.
They'll beat you. They can beat you.
They actually tended to beat the Mets in the past.
They beat the Phillies up too.
Yeah,
they cost both of them. So they're a 74-win team in last place. That means the division's good.
It's going to be a tough one because, especially for the Mets and everybody involved, because you're going to be facing all these guys all year long.
Right.
The records.
You get like 18 games with each of them?
Pretty much I think like 16 or something like that. Yeah. A lot of games. 16, 17, yeah. But I think what you're going to see, I don't think you're going to see like an 100-win team out of this division. I think the numbers could be kind of deceiving because of the difficulty in the division.
This is going to be one of the divisions where 93 gets it done, wild card 90,
I think even
and then third
less.
place 88, then the fourth place team 85.
I think the Mets were projected to win it at 89.
The Mets have a lot of things that they could need to go right. Like we're talking about Alonso, we don't expect him to 52 home runs, but we do expect Cespedes to come through.
Right.
We don't expect McNeil or whoever or to do this, but you got other guys coming back. You know. So on the flip side, you got Betances in the pen. You don't expect the closer. What's his name? You don't expect him to be as bad as he was. You don't expect Diaz to be as bad as he was. Like we were talking about with Cano last time, and you were saying I don't know about that, and I kind of agree. If you get anything from him, it's probably gravy.
Yeah,
it's definitely gravy.
At this point, he's more of just a veteran to hold it down. In the meantime, but
Conforto, we expect him to come out. You need him to do what he do. But like you said, the Mets pitching staff, Stroman's been real confident. We're gonna see Stroman's really
he's talking like he's Cy Young.
Yeah, he poking that chest out. He got the swag. All right, bro.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
it's time to do it.
I agree. I mean, I don't think last year was a fair assessment because he came in so late, and
the season was.
He seemed like he didn't really ever catch his groove with that. And that's fine.
You saw glimpses.
You saw glimpses
in every outing, but then again, he got his butt touched a little bit in every outing too.
Listen,
that's
he got
fine. A little bit.
So I think he's with the organization all summer long. He's had time to prepare now, get ready. I think it'll be different. But you go back and we talk about the potential future, and that's what needs to change for them is in ownership. Obviously, we spoke about it before. And a guy like A-Rod coming in, I mean...
Yeah, he's a competitor.
It's going to switch it up, man. That's for sure. I think whoever invests with him, if he were to be in control, I think they would just be, okay, yeah, sure. We trust you. Here's the money. Mm-hmm. To go get the players you want, things like that.
If A-Rod finds a way to buy that team, Jeter's going to be pissed, man. Jeter's going to be pissed. He can't get away from this guy. And A-Rod wants to beat him, Oh, Derek's there? Yeah, let's go beat him. I want to play against Jeter. A-Rod's got that upset. Yeah, Jeter's going to be like, oh, God, Alex is into my division. Who would have thought?
Now, the question is, who does A-Rod bring in to be one of his advisors? Because, like Jeter, I think, he brought in, didn't he bring in, like, Pettit or Posada?
A-Rod's a great interview, man. He's a 10-time better interview than Jeter. Jeter don't give you nothing. A-Rod's A-Rod's awesome, man. He's gonna give you the interview.
He's a character, that's for sure. I think he fits right with the media of New York.
They put that makeup on A-Rod, and he gets in front of that camera.
Could you imagine like him and Brody?
Oh my god!
Oh my,
Can
that
you
is
believe
insane.
A-Rod probably, oh man, yeah, they are peas of the same, bro.
Oh my
They're
god,
peas in the same pot, bro.
I could only imagine.
They are
them two.
characters. They can talk. A-Rod can talk.
There'd be a fight to the microphone with them. Like it would just be a constant battle to get who gets TV time. You know, like
I'm like chilling and I hear, of course, the Kobe situation still. Since it's not even a month old yet, and I heard that A-Rod was crying like a baby, and I'm like, why do I hear the A-Rod update on the Kobe situation of all? You know, I know they ever they've been around to say
A-Rod
was crying. J-Lo tweeted it. A-Rod's been on so inconsolable.
J-Lo caught consoling him for. I mean, we don't mean to laugh about Kobe.
No, we're not laughing about Kobe, but it's A-Rod. He's just like, I'm sure other people were crying, but A-Rod's tears were reported.
Must know.
They were reported. That's what I was saying. Of all people's tears to get reported, it was A-Rod's tears.
Yeah, you fit right in with the Mets, man. This is Met Town for him, man. I'm with it. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Switch it up.
Might as well. I don't know what else this team needs.
To do. Try it.
It'd be interesting. I mean, listen, anything better than Will Ponce, like I said. I'm done with it. We've been done with it for years.
I think Jeff's.
I had no choice, for years. But now I hear the rumors. I'm done. Let's go.
Okay. What are the odds? Do you think he's going to sell the team this year? I think they're going to be gone. He's going to sell it this year. I don't think he's going to survive. I'm talking about when I say this year, I mean December 31st. After postseason, before the year 2021 comes around, will Wilpon own the team?
Do the Mets make the playoffs?
I don't think that has anything to do with it.
I don't think so too, but I'm just saying. I don't know, because I was thinking like if they didn't make the playoffs, that they'd feel like less inclined to.
Right, but if they did, they'd sell it faster. Right,
I think that would really,
okay.
And the popularity of the team, at that point, what if to say maybe if they're not in a race come September. If they're not in a race come September, then, you'll be hearing all the boos and the stadium won't be as packed and you'll hear the chants to sell the team. You might hear them anyway, even if they are. But
the Mets are in a tough division, yes, but they have a lot of talent, man. They have 6 pitchers. They do. 7 pitchers.
Yeah.
7 starting, 7.
Yeah,
Porcello was a Cy Young Award winner.
He was.
Recently.
Hasn't been playing. How long ago? A couple of years.
3
years. It's a couple of years. 3 years ago. A lot can change since then. I know. His numbers haven't performed.
But he's
obviously.
not your 5-man rotation.
No, he's my 6th guy. So I'm okay with that.
All right.
No, listen. When we were talking about it, I do find that move a little bit better than initially because at first I was like, why? There's too many pitchers. You don't need that. But then again, I'm thinking, okay, somebody always gets injured. If you want to rest a guy for an extra day, it makes sense.
Waka got great stuff.
Waka's got a phenomenal fastball.
He can get touched up. All of these guys can. You coach him up, whatever. You get through it.
But you got any given Sunday, right? Of course. They have the stuff. And
got Rooney.
Who was it? I think it wasn't Waka. I think it was Porcello. He actually was a Met fan growing up. So you got
him and Stroman. We got a bunch of Met fans.
Yeah, this is like his dream, job right now. That's what he was saying as well. I'm pretty sure it was Porcello. I don't think it was Waka. And that's what he was saying in the interview, So I really like that. They're very passionate.
Guys.
The camaraderie's good. I seen a clip just the other day of they're all at the camp. They're all stretching out and everything. Everybody's got their shirt off. And the whole thing with that is that Thor always has his shirt off. So they actually told him that day, you have to wear your shirt. And everybody else got their shirt off when they're stretching. So the camaraderie is good. I like what I see. Much like I like what I see with the Yankees as well. Camaraderie is there. They're ready to go. A lot of the hatred towards the Astros, but everybody looks.
You know what it is with the Yankees?
Loaded, man.
You know what it is with the Yankees? They're chilling. We're chilling. And we got that, whatever. We got Garrett Cole. We took Garrett Cole. So, but we feel good about that. We like that. And, Paxton is out. Regular stuff. Once again, same thing as with the Mets. We got guys who we didn't have last year or they were banged up like Andrew Hall.
By the way, this is it for Boone. If he don't win a World Series, it's it. He's done. I look at it like the Steinbrenner mentality with that. I mean, like, this is it for them. The Yankees got every single aspect they need.
I don't want to jump against it too quickly because logically in history would say that he should be under pressure and under fire, especially if they don't win this year. But now that, thinking about it, when he was hired to replace this disciplinarian, Joe Girardi. And the way we were told after the fact was that was the reason that Girardi was out of there. It was more of a culture thing that the Yankees wanted to change. And I think the Yankees might be pleased with because the way he does things is the guy they hired.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure the pressure from the culture of we're going to win now is definitely there. But I don't know if they're going to, because he's perfect. He's that hug-a-thon guy, like the Mets wanted with
with
Callaway,
Callaway, right? Yeah. It's the same principle, yeah.
And that's the way the game is going.
I think I kind of look at Rojas like that as well.
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
He's gonna be he still has control. He's still the daddy, but at the end of the day,
I don't know about all that.
He's the cool daddy,
right?
Yeah.
I just say because I think now's the time. Now's the time for the Yankees. This is it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're coming off the scandal with
They're
Houston.
If they don't win, if they don't win, Matt, the fan base is gonna be asking for his head.
Yeah,
no question.
That's what I'm saying. It's not only just the organization.
Oh yeah.
The media will have.
The media will put the pressure on. Yes.
Who's stopping the Yankees realistically in the American League aside from the Astros? Because really, the
embattled Houston Astros.
I mean, really, who's stopping them? I don't. At the end of the day, matchup to matchup, pound for pound, I really don't see anybody match.
There's gonna be that little upstart team, an A's or Minnesota or Cleveland, Kansas City. Who knows?
Now, whether they have to at least get to the World Series.
They got to get right. Definitely.
In terms of National League matchups against them, I can name a few.
Right, but they have to get there.
Yeah, right.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? They have to get there. This is a must for them, for the Yankees going into the season. If not, I don't know. I think you could see a possibility Boone's gone. Again? Man, I honestly would not be surprised. Like I said, we talk a lot about the scandal. We laughed about it earlier on the show, but man, these guys are still really good ball players. Springer, Correa, Altuve, Bregman. That's a no-joke lineup.
They lost Cole, though.
They did lose Cole. That's going to hurt them. Without a doubt. Do I think they can still battle their way back to a World Series? It's a possibility. Listen, anything can happen. You got to look at although they lost Cole, what happens to Cole with the Yankees? Maybe he gets injured, something like that. Anything can happen at that point. Or he has an off year. That's possible too. Hey, listen, he better not. Sign all that money. He better not. But
as we talk,
he's getting older.
As we talk positively about the Mets and we're looking and the Yankees looking forward to we talk optimistically looking forward to a successful season. Philly fans are thinking the same thing, right? Philadelphia national fans are thinking the same thing. Red Sox fans, everything. So if you're a Philly fan, the Phillies made moves. They got the manager.
Atlanta made moves. Nationals made moves.
Real good division.
Wheeler's coming back for the Mets. This is as much as I'm excited to get it started, it kind of scares me a little bit because it could go one of two ways. Yeah.
He went to Philly, right?
I think he went to Philly. Yeah. Let me check that. Hold on.
It was Philadelphia. It wasn't Atlanta. They said he was going to go to Atlanta, but he never went. Yeah, the Phillies made all of the moves, remember?
It's, for me, either way,
they got Didi, they got Wheeler.
Yeah.
And it was another guy they got.
Yeah, it was the Phillies, yeah.
Who got Rendon? The Dodgers? The Angels?
Angels.
That's good for you guys. Get him out of here.
Angels, yeah, that's huge, actually, yeah. And that's actually interesting. I wonder if this might be the year where, Angels finally get to the postseason. They
don't got no pitching.
I know they're still struggling with that. I don't know if Ohtani's coming back and he's going to actually pitch this year. I don't know what they're doing with that. He's such a phenomenal player, two-way player. I mean, like you're talking like Babe Ruth-esque.
Wasn't he like hurt?
Yeah.
Like he was. Tommy
He got
John,
hurt,
but then he just hit.
He got hurt. They brought him back for DH, and
so he still got
pretty much
surgery.
all of last year, if not all of it. He was just DH. He was just hitting. You know.
Do you remember when Tanaka's arm was falling off, or kind of still is?
Yeah.
And they wanted him to get Tommy John, and he never got it. And he just kept pitching through it and pitching through it.
Yeah.
And starting to learn how to pitch it. That's crazy, man. Because they were like Tanaka, and he like, so that's like Ohtani probably like, because
except this guy could legitimately hit like 330 and hit 30 home runs.
What was it? And when he was pitching, he was pretty good too, wasn't he?
Oh yeah. He put up decent numbers.
He was like a three-starter, right?
He had some. He was like a mid-3, you know, like at the mid to high 3. But I mean, he had some really good starts in there, like shut down.
It's unheard of in the big leagues.
Yeah, I mean that is you just don't see that anymore.
Never saw it. Not in our time watching.
Yeah,
this is Babe Ruth stuff.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because you'll only kind of see that in the American League. Like he couldn't do that in the National League. He'd have to be one or the other because he would never get if he was a pitcher, he would never bat. Only when he pitched, or maybe the occasional pinch hit.
That goes back to you know what that takes us back to? That segues us right into the rules and the possibility of
the potential changes, things like that.
Putting the
DH in the National League, and also that playoff format, that they were.
Oh, what do you think about that, man?
What
do you think about both?
I have to look at the details on it. Well, we go back to even what they're going to change this year as well with the 3-batter minimum, and yes, the potential of National League hitting the DH.
Right.
I mean, I personally don't like it. I always like the difference in strategy. It could benefit the Mets. It would benefit a lot of teams.
Right.
But at the same time,
it's changing.
It's changing the
takes
aspect
away
of the
the
game.
National League game,
and it's just a different game. We play a
the
different
National
game.
League is the last
yeah.
league anywhere that uses let the pitchers hit.
Right. Yeah, I know. Even at the minor
Japan,
league,
the minors,
yeah.
all of that.
Yeah.
With that said, I think it's certain things I think they should keep. They should keep that, but
3-batter minimum. I'm completely up in arms, and I know I said I'll get to it after the break. But here we go. I mean, it just makes no sense to me. The 3-batter minimum. How could you do that? So now forget it. You could throw out all these righty-lefty matchups that we've been seeing for years, and a lot of people don't like that because it slows down the game. It takes a lot of time to get them in and out.
That's the main reason they're doing
this and that. But and that exactly that is the reason why baseball's doing. They're trying to speed up the game, which I don't understand.
To make the kids watch because the kids think
makes
it's
no
slow.
sense. That's not gonna appeal to the kids anymore. It doesn't matter. Like nothing's gonna make it. It's either you do or you don't. You know what really is gonna attract a younger generation to baseball? You and me and other people alike. I pass it down to my son and he passes it down. That's what happens.
I got it from my own.
It's one of those sports, man. It's just not. It's not as appealing as basketball or football. It's really not. No. It's a slow game. When you watch it, it's slow. You gotta pay attention. You gotta be focused. With football and basketball, even I'll throw hockey in there. Even though hockey's kind of a niche sport as well. It's
baseball's not the easiest to watch, man. I gotta be honest, Matt. I know
it's not. I know,
bro.
I love it.
I have it on in the summertime.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. 7:30, 7 o'clock, come on. And I'll watch both teams. I watch the boys in the Bronx and the Queens boys. I watch them both. But the thing about baseball is, I'm not for sitting straight for, I'm going to get up. I might be doing something during the game. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at that.
Yeah.
But, that crack of that bat on that ball, it's on, But, I totally get why younger people, it's not appealing to them. I totally get it, man.
Changing the rule to a 3-batter minimum is just going to make the game worse. And, listen, expect ERAs for all widespread to go up this year. I mean, it's just going to be insane. And just, run scored against, all that, it's just going to just skyrocket. Because why? You You can't tell me I bring a guy in the 8th inning, we're down by we're up, let's say we're up by 1. I bring him in, he gives a base hit, walks a guy. I got to leave him in for another guy?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
He gives a double and a walk.
Are you kidding? I got to bring him in. I got to leave him in for another guy? It doesn't matter. Double, walk, whatever, 2 singles, 2 walks. Now the potential tying runs on second, and I have to leave him in.
I love the way you put that, bro. That right there, that example. The guy comes in the game, he gives up a walk and a double, a second and third, nobody out. I got to give this guy another hitter.
That's insane. It completely goes against what we've ever known with baseball. It changes the whole game. It's become a fucking spectacle. Sorry for my language, but there it is.
You guys,
it's a show,
you're
man.
Watching the game. I'm watching playoff games. These guys, the pitcher comes out to face the lefty. He can't get him out. They're not gonna make the lefty face the righty too. He couldn't get the lefty out. He's out of here. That's it. I bring him for the playoff game. We bring him in second and third. He walks the lefty.
God forbid,
all right, bring him out. I gotta leave him in for the righty.
God forbid it takes 2 minutes of commercial time and him warming up for us to see a new pitcher. I mean, like, you're just gonna change the outcomes of baseball. That in itself is changing the outcomes of games
crazy?
in
You're
general.
changing the rules to attract people who don't give a shit about, you know what I mean, about the game or the rules.
Right.
Because to understand what we were just talking about, you have to understand the game. And the people, and if it worked, if it brought them in, I wouldn't argue it. I'd be like, you know what, they need fans. Because at the end of the day, you need fans to keep the legacy of the game alive.
I'll tell you, you know what, I might just keep track this year of how many games that rule directly affects. How many situations, things like that. I believe the numbers will be staggering, man. Like,
come on, it's gonna happen every night, every game.
It might. You're right, absolutely.
Yeah.
It might not happen every
night.
night.
Bro, we watch the game. We're like, he's going to bring in so-and-so in to face this. Then you look at the other lineup, you see the 2 lefties back-to-back. Okay, they're going to bring in the lefty for these 2 guys. And then we're going to warm up the heater guy, the heater right-handed, power pitcher right-hander for the third guy. And, it's the whole strategy. Like, when they changed the rule from the catcher, you're not able to hit the catcher anymore. I didn't like it, but it doesn't really change the game really that much. Yeah. Even the break up the neighborhood play, second base, and all of that, and you break up the double play. They made some restrictions to it to make it less confrontational at the bag.
Right.
I'm cool with that. But this one right here,
I missed that. I really do. The collision at the plate was one of my favorite.
I miss it too, bro.
Baseball.
But it's just the violence we liked, really. That it's not the end of the day.
No, but it made that play a possibility.
It's more. I know.
It wasn't. Now it's a given. If the runner's out by 10 feet, he's out by 10 feet.
Right.
Back then, there was still a chance.
Right.
He can knock you the hell out, knock that ball loose. And that changes the outcome as well.
It's still, there's a logic to it, and the logic is they don't want the collisions. The everything, the culture's changing with the collisions and the car wrecks, and we understand, and it doesn't really change the game.
That one doesn't really change it.
We just like seeing it.
This rule does.
This 3 batter minimum thing, it's awful. It's awful, Matty.
Yeah,
I don't want to see it. And I believe it's on, right? It's a done deal, right?
It is effective as of 2020 season. So we will be seeing this from opening day and on. And I'm pretty sure, actually, we'll even see it in the spring training games as well. I know, they've, flirted with the idea of robot umps, all that. That's still a possibility. I think they may even be testing it in spring training games. Which I'm not necessarily. I don't know. I played the game growing up.
Man.
I played the game growing up, so for me, I know I was a pitcher, so I would get pissed when I throw a ball real outside the black and I wanted it for a strike, or he's been calling it for a strike all game, and he calls a ball, or I throw a strike and it's a ball. He doesn't call it for a strike. It pissed me off. But, as a part of the game, there's a human element.
You need it.
I guess it's an old school view. I know I'm not really old school, but I have an old school view towards it,
right. Sure.
And, I could understand the notion of, okay, let's just get it right. So in terms of strike zone, strike balls, okay, it's right. You can't argue it anymore. No more of the batter arguing with the ump, this and that. It's going to be, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I could get that. I can understand that. I don't think that'll change the game. If anything, that might be somewhat better for the game, or somewhat more logical for the game. But the 3 batter minimum, you gotta erase that. And this whole new playoff format, or that they're proposing or whatever.
7 teams.
Is that what it is? 7
Each
teams.
league.
Yeah, you can.
The one seed gets a bye.
Yeah. That's what's gonna happen with that is that teams that don't deserve to be in the postseason are gonna be in the postseason.
The Mets and Phillies made it last year.
And for what? Exactly, Mets and Phillies. I know, and I get that. I'm thinking, the Mets will be in the playoffs. Okay.
I'm a Yankee fan.
It's too much.
I don't think I mind
It's money driven. It's money driven. They want more TV time. They want more contracts.
They want more fan interest.
That's it.
They want people in San Diego to care in September.
We don't need another somewhat team. Because as much as I liked the Mets last year, they wouldn't have done anything.
This is 4 extra teams, right? Yeah.
7, no. It's
5 and 5 right now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Or is it 2 extra teams?
So it's going to be 4
I think
altogether.
it's 2. Okay. Well, either way, I just, it's a little bit too much. I don't think there's anything wrong with the playoff format. I think the, MLB postseason is like a month long.
Yeah, it is.
That's a decent amount of time. I really don't think you need to add to that. And
I don't think it's gonna change the length because those other. I think this is what it was.
Well, when they play them, it's got to change the length by a couple of days at least.
The number 2 seed gets to choose. That's the choosy.
Oh, forget about that proposal. Oh my God. Yeah, no, see, and this is the problem. You can't. I'm glad you brought it because I forgot about that aspect of it.
Yes.
You can't be. You can't have teams choosing who to play. What is this?
You know what? I thought about it at first. I reacted just like you. Like the old head. Oh, this is... Matt, hear me out.
To see it sound like a grump, but damn.
No,
man.
I know, you don't mean to sound like to get off my lawn, guy, but we are kind of... Because it's out of the box. It's definitely nothing. It's a little different. So when I was thinking about it, and I'm like, damn. If a 2 seed decides to pick this team, and they pick, because they always used to ask people, all right, so you made the playoffs, who would you rather face? When there's other teams trying to get into, and they always say, oh, we don't know, we'll face anybody, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Now, they pick who they'll face. And the other team's going to be insulted, like, oh, you want to play us? All right. And that creates rivalry.
You're so into you're trying to turn this into wrestling, aren't you?
Almost like... But entertainment, and this is entertainment interest.
Is this where the league's going? Is this what we come now?
Things are changing, man.
Soap operas and all that.
That's why I was saying the same thing with the Astros.
Man, if that's the case, man, I don't know.
No, but at the end of the day, I still want the game to be the same on the field. That's all the bottom line. It has to be the game.
You're already changing it,
I don't like that. I know I don't like that part. Like the NBA, we talk all our trash. Oh, Kyrie, but
NBA's in a good place,
right? And what are they filled with?
Just talent
and soap operas.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of like rule changes, then there's no rule changes. There's no need to change it.
They changed the rules 30 times over the last 20 years.
Yeah, but if you look
to get
towards
into where they are now,
what is there to really change the season? I haven't heard any rumblings about it either.
There's nothing left. The league is straight offensive the way they wanted. And remember, they changed all the rules where you can't touch anybody on defense. And all of these sports are going into an offensive mode, where the defense is just put to the side and then scoring is promoted.
Well,
and baseball is trying to figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
Right. The NBA and the NFL have done it. Even hockey's done it. The MLB wants to do that, but MLB is a different sport, whereas MLB has this certain way things are done. It's real tradition based. Well, the other ones are more flexible, you know what I mean?
And there's just less player contact overall.
Right, that's true.
It's not that type of sport, so it's like, how do you really make it more interesting? In terms of player safety, they've done pretty much everything you could possibly think of, because I mean, there's not much more you could really do.
And the rule book and the record books in the NFL, people don't care about them in the NBA like they do about them in baseball. And the way the game is played. I mean, even though they've been a little skewed because since the steroid era, those records and those numbers in baseball are still very important to the game. And when you start changing the rules of the game, you're changing everything now. It's not like passing yards in the NFL. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, Matt? So, I don't know.
Well, you're right.
As
I mean,
big
I think
baseball
it'll change
fans,
that.
it's
But
weird for
the
us.
only way you feel that way is because they changed the rules, and now look what has happened.
Yeah,
it's
we're big baseball
transpired.
fans a long time, so we're used to a certain thing, and it's being threatened to change, and people don't like change. And I don't like this one. I don't like three batter minimum. I don't like it.
All right. Well, we're gonna do a really quick break, and then we're basically gonna close out the show. Pretty much done for the night, but want to get talking a little bit about we're gonna touch on the NBA All-Star Weekend, all that. We mentioned we talked about it. We got carried away with this. We're gonna bring that up though. EPIS Sports Radio on Rada Music Works Production. Be right back.
You're listening to Matty B on EPIS Sports Radio Network, your home for sports talk and sports radio.
Alright, EPIS Sports Radio back with our last break of the show. Thank you everybody for tuning in, listening, all the likes and the shares I've been getting. Awesome, appreciate the love. Please keep on tuning in. Like I said earlier in the show, next week we are doing, going to reveal the question to my ticket giveaway. It's going to be a Mets game in probably the first week of the season. I haven't decided yet. Decide what game to go to, but I'm going to give all that info out. All you have to do is listen in the show, listen in on the question, and directly message me any way you can. I'm not going to ask you to share, but at least like and follow the page, EPIS Sports Radio on Facebook. Answer the question correctly, and you will be eligible for the ticket giveaway. I'm going to give you guys about a week to submit all your entries, and then following week, I will do a live stream and give away tickets. And who knows? You and a loved one or a friend can go enjoy a game. It'd be awesome.
Mets win maybe.
There you go. Maybe you get a Mets win. So I'm going to do more of that later on, as the season goes along. I'll do Yankees, I'll do Mets, Sure, even send me a request on what day you would like to go, whatever. I can, maybe decide, a little bit easier that way. So, thank you for your support. I appreciate it. Like I said, EPIS Sports Radio. This is, I got Dubby Goodell as well, my boy. From the Standard, gotta go check him out. He posts show weekly as well. He will be posting one.
Yeah. More
on the baseball subject as well. When he released now?
I want to do this by tomorrow, Tuesday.
Okay.
It's on Dubby Goodell, Dubby. Goodell, like the commissioner. Goodell, Goodell. YouTube.
And you already know me. EPIS Sports Radio, EPIS. Everything possible in sports. Before we go, NBA All-Star Weekend, this is the time to relax, off time in sports, just enjoy, sit back. If your team's in the playoff hunt, or if they're pretty much solidified a spot, although, logistically speaking, it's impossible at this point, but still, if you got hopes, good for you, as a Knicks fan, for me.
You sound like such a Knicks fan as you say that. You sound so pathetic. Like wishing people best wishes, and you ain't gonna get any shit going on for you.
Listen.
Yeah, wish you the best. Oh my God.
Listen, man.
Matt, you're trying so hard to be cordial and sound caring.
It's not my fault that I have so much pain, and I can't enjoy one team. Man, even the Guardians lost yesterday, all right? Like, come on, bro. Well, they get shut out?
27-0.
Yeah, XFL. Even the Guardians dropped, all right?
New York teams are taking a lot of beats, man. It's like, it's becoming...
It came out hot in the first week, but the second week was a big
they played that Tampa Bay team. They lost 2 yesterday, Tampa Bay. They lost to Seattle.
Man.
So
okay, so you're telling me the Guardians are the bottom of the league, right?
No,
right.
Tampa Bay is. They beat their ass.
Yeah, right. Well, 1-1. Not much further, but...
Tampa stinks.
Listen, I'm being honest, all right? Listen, enjoy the All-Star break. If you're a fan of any team that's out there, Laker fan, whatever, Bucks fan, Sixers fan, whatever. If you're out there, you're enjoying it, enjoy it. It's a little time off before the final stretch begins, and postseason is here. But if you care, about what happened during the All-Star break, I mean, as we're recording, the All-Star game's going on now. That doesn't really matter. But the winners of the three-point contest was Buddy Hield from the Sacramento Kings. Right. I love the three-point contest. I think it's probably my favorite part. For me, it's my favorite part of the All-Star weekend.
Yeah, of course.
Dunk contest is cool and all, but I just think, it's watching the shooters, watching the best shooters in the NBA go at it. It's a nice aspect.
The dunk contest was very innovative and exciting at one point last night, but there's always warts with the dunk contest, I mean, it took forever to end, and then you had the controversial ending.
Right. Yeah, I was in between Gordon and what's his name?
Jones Jr.
Right,
from Miami.
Right.
And it's funny, I guess he jumped over Taco.
Yeah, Gordon for the final attempt, he jumped over Taco.
They were hitting perfect scores all night.
Yeah, they were all getting 50s on like every single dunk. A lot of innovative stuff too. Stuff we'd never seen before, which was pretty cool. Of
course, it's hard to.
Not really dunks that in real time kind of stun you. It was more so when you really broke it down in the slow mo. It was like, oh, okay, like that's there's a lot of talent that goes involved in all that, But I mean. Whatever, there was a little bit of controversy there.
The judges weren't impressed with the Taco dunk.
No.
Ultimately.
I mean, Taco's 7'7". He didn't necessarily clear him.
Taco's like a star, bro. Taco's a star. Taco comes out here. The guy's played about the total of about 19 NBA minutes in his rookie year. 50 games have passed. He's played in 6 of them. He's been in Maine, back and forth to the G League.
Right.
And for some reason, he has this NBA All-Star Weekend invite. Where are the other G Leaguers at?
I agree. Yeah, what the hell is he doing there? But
Taco's made a name for himself.
And I don't think that was planned either. It didn't seem like it. They were kind of like last minute because they went through so many dunks. Like it was like
he's got to be the most famous G Leaguer in the world. Taco Fall.
I guess, at this point. I haven't really heard much about him this year. I didn't even know he got sent down.
He's at the All-Star weekend with a suit on with the guys.
Yeah. What is he doing?
He's done nothing in the league.
He certainly didn't pay for that ticket, so,
no.
I mean,
He was a prop.
But nonetheless, Jordan jumped over him. I kind of bent his head down the last second.
The judges, including Miami's own Dwayne Wade, weren't feeling the dunk.
I don't think that's what it was. I think D. Wade was out for his Miami people to get the win. And
you're not the only person that said that. Social media is really pointing their finger at Mr. Wade. And they're saying that he's, they feel like he was biased, a little corruption, a sprinkle of corruption.
Yeah, I mean,
sprinkle
listen.
of conspiracy.
You jump over somebody's 7'7", really, D Wade couldn't do that himself in his prime. Come on now.
He said, he didn't really. D Wade said, I'm not the only guy who voted, who didn't give him a 10. We've seen that before.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we have seen it before, and actually, I was thinking because he was emphasizing that earlier in the night. I was thinking maybe that's the only reason I could justify that, but nah, come on. Yeah, he deserved a 50. If anything, he definitely didn't deserve 3 9s. But it is what it is.
Yeah, no one cares anyway.
Yeah, it is what it is.
No one cares. The All-Star game, it is what it is.
The skills challenge, Bam Adebayo won, which is awesome for him. But it's a big,
all big men out there.
It's a big win in the skills challenge.
Yeah, they had all bigs there.
They did. They had a lot of bigs. But there was a couple of guards there that failed. But you had a couple of guards that
It was
just
Bam and
failed.
Sabonis in the finals, dribbling the ball, doing crossovers, shooting
bigs.
threes.
Well, that's what the NBA has become now, It's no longer, the guards aren't the ones who are getting the assists. It's the big men who can pass, who can move, and things like that. That's what the NBA has become. It's a reflection of that.
Everything's different.
Everything's a little different, But listen, like I said, enjoy the festivities. It's a nice little weekend. A lot of tributes for Kobe Bryant and everything going on.
Well deserved.
Yeah, it sucks. You could only imagine that Kobe probably would have been there hanging out.
We got the 24s. One team's wearing 24. The other team's wearing 2 for Gigi. It's dope.
Yeah, so that's it. Like I said, not much going on this week aside from baseball. It's been all baseball. You got the scandal. You got everybody reporting in the camps, getting ready for the season. That seems to be the spotlight right now. And, as we get into the March, we'll have a little bit of March Madness. We're going to talk a lot about that. Hockey playoffs are going to come to a start. And then basketball soon enough as well. Yeah, if anybody cares about hockey, I do. I was actually supposed to go to the game today.
But you wanted to work.
Yeah, I needed to do this show. I needed to, get it out, get the show out for you guys, and
it's all about the work with Matt, guys. You guys gotta appreciate this guy's work ethic. So ever since Matt put his foot on the pedal, he's ready. He's go.
This has been very fun. I really appreciate anybody that's listening. This is just for fun for right now for us. Hopefully it turns into something.
Yeah, we're gonna keep working.
That's
going.
it. That's it for us.
Like
this was more important than going to the Ranger game for me today. So I hope you guys enjoy.
It's been a good show.
It's been fun. It's been a good couple of weeks with the show. I appreciate all the support of everybody and Dub, man. I love having you here every second, man.
It's easy for me to come through. This is fun.
We'll keep it going.
I like Carlos Correa does. He'll put his finger up and admonish you guys. Like, share, comment. Telling you guys show respect.
Move on.
Bellinger, show some respect. Just because you got beat by cheaters, don't say anything about it. Respect us.
Oh, man.
Like it.
It's EPIS Sports Radio, man. Matty B, Dubby Goodell. Bro, appreciate it. It's on Ronnie Music Work Production. Steve,
what's up,
my
baby?
executive producer, thank you, man, for everything that you do, putting the show together. We couldn't do it without you. Hey, next week, Monday. This one's coming out Monday. You guys get it tomorrow as we hear on Sunday, and next week, Monday as well. New show. EPIS Sports Radio. Later.
You better like it, yo, Bellinger.
You've been listening to the Matty B Show right here on EPIS Sports Radio and on Rada Music Works Production.